Something I really loathe about our society is something I had no control over because I was a kid and I didn't know better, was sugar. Now, I talked about this maybe once or twice in some of my other videos, but I was basically spoon-fed glucose, sucrose, fructose from my earliest years into my teenage years. Sugar was the overwhelming majority of my diet. And when I say sugar, I'm not just referring to sugar cane, okay? I'm referring to the molecule, the glucose molecules, essentially, that make up carbohydrates and starch, bread, pasta. That was the majority of what I ate. From me being a toddler to me being even a teenager. It was pasta. It was pizza. It was bread. It was cake. And I developed a taste for sweetness. And that's why it's so difficult for me to put down the carbs, because I grew up on it. It's not even just nostalgia. It's behavioral. It's an addiction, And our society keeps on trying to spoon feed this crap into kids. That should be considered child abuse. That, by definition, should absolutely be considered child abuse. Now listen, sugar does not have the same acute impact that, say, methamphetamine has, obviously. No one is arguing that. No one at all is arguing that sugar is going to have the exact, impact in the same time frame as something like, something like meth would have, or even just, other drugs like cocaine. But the fact of the matter is that it has an impact on the body, and you pay for every single carbohydrate that you consume. I usually take this route because there's not as many cars going down this road, but I guess there's a lot more traffic today. Oh well, sue me, right? But to go back on point, I loathe the fact that sugar is normal. It's not normal. Humans, for the majority of our existence, rarely came across sugar and carbs that were actually palatable and digestible in the wild over the course of our existence as a species. Now, we would absolutely try and eat that crap whenever we got the hands on it, right? But that doesn't necessitate that that's something that's good. Why do you think? It's basically just it's a drug. Sugar is a drug. It fits the exact same definition. And fun fact, virtually all drugs, excluding synthetic drugs, come from plants. The writing is on the walls. It's so obvious when you just take 1 minute to look at certain characteristics and traits and say, oh, hey, there's an association here, okay? Now, here's what I think. The reason I have such a difficult time removing sugar from my diet and maintaining it, sticking to it, and not splurging after like a month, because frankly, that's the longest I've been able to stick to carnivore. And it's not because I am dying or it's because I'm, not getting enough nutrients. It's because I'm craving that sweetness. It feels good, man. Right, a fucking semi-truck. This is supposed to be the freaking low traffic road, and everyone and their mother's on this road today. Losing my fucking train of thought. Jiminy Christmas. Imagine a train comes by now. But the reason I have such a difficult time sticking to carnivore long term is not because it's lacking nutrition or it's lacking satiation. I am always satiated without question every single time I eat a meal that's predominantly meat and fat. You know, plus or minus eggs or certain aged cheeses that I seem to be okay with. I'm always doing predominantly just much better, and I'm satiated, I'm full. I don't feel the need to eat more. But with snacks, it's always I need a little bit more, or I want a little bit more, and I'm tired of it. It's not normal. That shit needs to be thoroughly investigated, and we need to start removing this crap from our supermarkets, from our stores. This is not food. It's not food. It's essentially, I'm not even going to say essentially, it's a drug. It is a drug. It brings people to an early grave. Premature death is absolutely something that would most likely happen if you consume these junk foods over the course of a long enough period of time. Not everyone has a predominantly premature death from sugar and carbs. But guess what? There are some people who smoke every day and drink every day, and they live to over the age of 100. Okay, so it's not just one thing that causes you to have an early grave. But I'll tell you what, my buddy passed away at 52 from a heart attack. He was a Marine. He was physically very strong. He had lots of muscle, but he also had a lot of fat that was surrounding his organs. And I guarantee you the reason he had that heart attack ultimately was because of a lifelong diet that caused his body to take on excess adipose tissue that surrounded his organs and probably surrounded his heart. And the stress was too much, and it killed him. He died at 52. Imagine working your whole life, doing all these damn things for people who don't give a shit about you, to die at 52. That's the problem that I have. Okay? And I don't blame Mike for not being able to cut the sugars, because fuck, man, I'm having a hard ass time doing it. And I'm only 25. He was double my age, which means he had been dealing with the addiction and it is an addiction. It is absolutely an addiction. All right? You have fucking withdrawals when you go long enough without carbs and sugar. We used to call that shit keto flu. No, it's not a flu. It's withdrawal. It's the same type of withdrawal you get when you stop smoking cigarettes or you stop drinking booze. And I am tired of pretending that it's normal. It is not normal. Sugar is not something you should ever be eating unless you're literally starving to death. I just had to get that off my chest. I know I've said that probably more than a few times at this point, but it's important to me, and I want people to hear this.